Hey everybody, JCB here at The Awesomeness, and you're watching The Awesomeness YouTube channel. Today is day 8 of my 50 days of summer, in which I post new content every day of my summer vacation. Today we're going to be taking a look at what goes into making an Awesomeness video from beginning to end, so this might get a little meta. I apologize in advance. It all starts with an idea. This is usually the hardest part of the process, just coming up with an idea for the video. But once I have an idea, that will usually dictate what kind of video it's going to be. Will it be an awesome list? Will it be a product review or a travel vlog? And once I know that, it basically comes down to 1 or 2 different formats that I use. You see, every single Awesomeness video is one of 2 formats. It's either an on-location video in which I film everything at the place I'm talking about, and then edit it all together and add narration, like with my recent Calico Ghost Town video, or it's a video like this, where it's me in the studio talking directly to the camera, and then it cuts away to B-roll footage whenever I need to illustrate a point about whatever it is I'm talking about. There's only a couple of differences between these 2 formats of video. The on-location videos are typically way easier to produce, as most of the work is done on location. I film an overabundance of footage, hopefully far more than I'll ever need, and take mental notes along the way of what things I want to mention and talk about. My wife is also really great at pointing out important or interesting things that I should bring up in my videos. Then on my way back home, or sometimes while I'm still there, I'll type actual notes on my phone. Then once I'm back here, all I have to do is edit all the clips together, and then record a narration based on the notes that I took. Sometimes I'll have a short part of the script, or I'll create like an outline of all the different points I want to hit, but usually I just vamp. I can usually record my voiceover, then edit my footage to match my voiceover, or sometimes I'll cut out pieces of my voiceover if I don't have relevant footage to show. And if I get really stuck, I'll cut to a random image. As for these in-studio videos, the process is pretty similar. I'll usually have an overabundance of footage that I recorded that I could cut to as B-roll to illustrate my points. Sometimes, if another YouTuber has footage that's better than the footage I recorded, or if they have something that I just couldn't get, like footage of a ride that happened to be closed the day I went to the park, then I'll usually reach out to those YouTubers and ask to use their footage. Whenever possible, I'll try to use videos licensed with the Creative Commons license, as you just have to give credit to the original creator, which I always do anyway. But if I can't find a Creative Commons video, I will always ask the original uploader for permission before including their clip in my video. And again, I always credit them on screen, usually while their footage is playing. I also try my best to pick footage from channels that currently have a low amount of views, in hopes of my channel increasing their exposure. Not that my channel is huge or anything. Another big difference is that every one of these videos starts with a script. Well before I turn on my camera, I will write every single word you're hearing me say right now. These scripts are usually written either in Notepad on my home PC, or they are written in Google Docs if I think I might need to continue writing from somewhere else. As far as filming actually goes, it's pretty straightforward. I won't get into what equipment I use right now. I can save that for a video later down the line, but basically it all comes down to memorization of the script. I try to memorize as much of it as I possibly can because I don't have a teleprompter, so I basically have to memorize everything that I'm saying to you right now. However, in case I do forget something, I always have my script on my phone so I can reference it just in case. Thankfully, I only have to memorize the parts where I speak directly to camera. Anytime I'm not on camera, such as when I cut the B-roll shots and it's basically just a voiceover, I usually just hold up my phone and read right off of the screen so I can easily match my vocal energy and tone of voice without having to stop production or cut for even a moment. And then I just delete the video part of this footage and place whatever B-roll I have over the audio. In this case, you're seeing B-roll of me placing B-roll in Premiere Pro. Odd. And then I just edit everything together. I like to use the Freeform Media Manager offered in the latest version of Premiere Pro because that allows me to group my clips together based on content. I also use a lot of keyboard shortcuts like pressing A to select all the clips to the right of my cursor, or Shift-Delete to do a ripple delete, which basically moves all the following clips in to fill the gap. One of the last things I do is I add the background music. I typically use royalty-free music because I don't have time to write, perform, or record original music myself every time I make a video, although I guess I technically could. I also don't have the money to license anything that's copyright, and we all know YouTube won't let you just use someone else's song. But most royalty-free songs are only a minute or 2, while most of my videos are more like 10 minutes and sometimes more. So I use Adobe Audition's remix feature to make the song exactly the length I need it without having to copy and paste the song over and over again. Lastly, I'll just add my intro video, my name tag video, which I use an Ultra Key effect to remove the green from, and then my end card video, and whatever video clip I'm placing on top of my end card. I then shrink that clip to about 56% of its original size, and add a slight drop shadow. Then comes my least favorite part of the process, making the thumbnails. I use Adobe Photoshop to make my thumbnails, and if I can, I'll use a screen grab from my video so that the thumbnail actually matches the content of my video. Then all I need to do is add text identifying what kind of video it is. I usually make these at a resolution of 720 and save them as PNGs so they don't exceed YouTube's file size limit, but also don't have any of that nasty JPEG compression. I'll typically put a drop shadow or outline on the text to increase the contrast and readability. Now obviously the longer the video, the more work goes into making that video. It means more writing time, it means filming more B-roll and other elements, it means doing more voiceover work and creating more music and just a lot more work. Also that I can upload it to YouTube and then just sit back and watch the thousands of views roll in. Totally worth it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as I release new videos every day for the next 43 days. So until next time, keep being awesome. You're talking like an old timer. Back in my day,
when I was little,
there were actual horses walking these streets.
True.
Really?
Accurate. And like the best part was like throwing your dad or your mom in jail and like laughing at them because the, you know, can't come out. And you'd be like, oh my god, I put my parents in jail.
But nowadays, kids' parents are actually in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.